Behind me is the disaster that is my Civic engine swap project. And I recently made a video talking about how this is done, essentially. The car runs, but it's missing a vital component that is supposed to be custom made. And I talked about my experience I had with this one company known as AKD, who was supposed to make the part and essentially never delivered and had been one of the worst customer experiences I had ever had. And I made that video, and they did end up seeing it, and they responded. And not only did they respond to me, but they responded to you guys, because they got quite a lot of backlash after I made that video. And I tried to defend them, but at this point, it's rightfully so. They deserve what people are saying. And there's a lot to cover here. So this is going to be an update video talking about what is happening with them, what they had to say to me, what they've said online. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about Drive Shaft Shop and what's happening in the future. And to keep it short, there's nothing good in this video. There is no good news. It never gets better. I wish it would. I'm sure you guys are waiting to hear something good, and I certainly am too. But it's just right behind me is a prime example. You'll notice everything's wrapped up, everything's moved. This is just one example of how much of an inconvenience has been caused to me by this company not delivering, and the false promises and everything that has went wrong. I don't own this garage. I'll be honest. I don't own this garage. So a job has to get done over on this side, on this lift. I have to move everything over. I had to cover the car up so nothing gets on the car. It's just been a disaster. And I'm pretty much at a year now of paying insurance on a car that I don't drive. And I really can't stress enough that financially and in terms of my time and in every way, this has costed me so much more than the original $2,000 that I had to pay for these custom axles. But really quick, I just want to say thank you to you guys, because when I posted that video, I wasn't sure how people were going to take it. I didn't know how people were going to respond, but everybody for the most part was on my side, and I got legitimate advice. And I know I don't have a big following, 2,000 subs, we just hit 2,000, yay. But the small following that I do have, it means so much to me, because in a situation like that where I had been so frustrated for so long, for the first time I didn't feel alone. And it was so good to have people really come and try to help me. So thank you all for listening and understanding what I have to say. Again, there are multiple parts to this update, and there's a lot to cover, so this might be a longer video, but I'm just gonna explain everything that I can. And there's some twists and turns and things that you would not expect, and that I certainly did not expect, so get ready. But where I'm gonna start with this is how they actually found my video, because I posted that video, and within a few hours, I got an email from Steven, the owner, and it wasn't a nice email. It wasn't a nice email at all. So let me show you how I actually found out that they discovered. So for context here, I just posted my video. I'm checking the comments. I'm checking the Civic forums to see if anybody's talking about it, anybody's sharing anything, and sure enough, it didn't take long. Somebody posted a link to my video on one of their threads talking about, it's one of their threads by AKD talking about all-wheel drive development. But this person, Mad Chiller, had to say, can't get a set of axles made? Why should anyone do business with AKD? And the fuse is lit, guys. It didn't take long at all for AKD to respond to this. And he had to say, what the F is this, bro? He also said, this is a thread for all-wheel drive parts for 10th and 11th gen. Not sure why you thought it was a good idea to post this here, but I'll be the first to eject you, and this customer was dealt with already. So yeah, this is right after he emailed me. I'm not gonna read the emails yet. There's some good stuff on there, but I wanna first get through this thread here, because there's some really interesting information that's shared. Pretty petty you choose to come here with drama, but you could be a clown on your own time, bro. Kick rocks. Somebody responds with popcorn emojis. Way to deflect from the issue presented. The Civics X community needs to know whom they're buying from. Your response says a lot about AKD as a company and you as an entrepreneur, and I absolutely get what he's saying. Just because the axles aren't necessarily relevant, the fact that my experience with the company was really poor, that it kind of reflects on them as a whole. So again, a little more bickering going on. Yeah, I'm good. I don't promote drama. Chill, homie. No one really cares. Me either. See, this is the other thing. He responds to every single comment when he should just be letting a lot of this die down. But he keeps going. And then there's this really big paragraph here, which there's a lot of really good information in. So I'm going to read all this. I started designing and developing these parts here to support many who come to me asking about C2 parts. I wasn't here until an official business capacity for anything and haven't sold anything to any one of you. I came here ETO, show my work, making billet transmissions, gears, differentials, subframes, etc. And I don't know Mad Chiller. Never spoken to him before. He came here with that post, but having customers myself out of if the form, not everyone will have a great experience. See, Steven uses voice text a lot, so every single time there is a big paragraph from him, there's always a ton of errors, and it's hard to read sometimes, so just bear that in mind. I don't know why he doesn't proof check his work when you're talking about, you know, important topics like this, but you know, just bear in mind that some of it's a little awkward to read. So here's some new information that he shares. I have 12 manufacturers, 8 of them are amazing, 3 of them are just kind of okay, and 1 is the bane of my existence. The one guy was waiting for parts from my guy. This guy was waiting for parts from that guy. I am no crook, thief, or anything in between. I came here to show my developments and push the boundaries of performance for these chassis while I waited to get one of my own. This paragraph is huge, so I'm not going to read all of it, but in the beginning, he's just defending himself. He talked about some guy with an Integra. I have no idea who this customer is, but then this big chunk of the paragraph in the middle is talking about a company that, or a manufacturer, I should say, where things went wrong and there was a massive, whole big deal going on. They got sued. He had to offer refunds, and it was a big mess, apparently. The interesting part of this, though, I'm going to jump to the end of this paragraph, towards the end. He brings up me. I communicated often, but Gavin wanted almost daily communication and a full life story, not that I am insensitive to him requests for parts or his car being down for maintenance, but we always kept him aware and alert of what was going on. That is BS. You guys, if you saw the video, you saw the video. What? You know, I was communicating, there would be weeks I would between messages, months even. So to say I wanted all these details and I was super demanding is ridiculous. I don't, you guys saw the video, I don't know, use your judgment, but I don't think I ever was asking for too much or anything out of the ordinary, especially after waiting so long, spending so much money, and the whole experience. But wanting daily updates, even weekly updates, when nothing had changed made me crazy, as I was dealing with that from not only Hum, but many others because of that manufacturer. There was no point where I was messaging him every day. We always come through and supply our customers. Sometimes issues arise and I make everyone aware or refund when appropriate. That was a lot. Again, it's really tough to read some of this, but put some pictures up, keeps going. There's another paragraph that comes up here, but this one is really interesting because it's not written by Steven, it's written by someone else. So he is responding to Mad Chiller where he says, way to deflect from the issue presented. What they had to say is, we got a new response from someone on here. Some advice. What you post and write in emails will be public as a business unless you execute an NDA for some reason with a customer. And I did know this before I made the video. I knew that everything I was doing was legal. I knew it was public. So don't worry. I knew all that, and I hope they know that now. So maybe they'll be a little more professional about what they say. Having worked, actually, no, they don't. Having worked in automotive aftermarket, your interactions with customers, potential or current, is a make it or break it for your growth, no matter how badass your product is. I recommend you reapproach your back order notifications. Your company's attitude towards someone who has given you their money and wants reasonable updates, thank you. And lastly, be as transparent with as much info as you can when deliveries fall through. Yes. Learn from this and don't die on this hill. This is intended to help you and not attack you, by the way. Yeah, very fair. Just so the forum can see, this is not the last post here. OP should continue his updates on this topic and the other grievances taken elsewhere. Definitely two sides here that only these individuals know, and in my experience, this might fall under an early adopter trap of getting stuck in the machine, so to speak. Let the show go on. Right. And like, you know, I totally support that. Like, let's get over this, let's move on. Right? I'm the same way. Like, I want to be done with this too, and I wish the best for the company. Honestly, I truly do. I wish they can get their things sorted out, and I wish I just had my parts and I could move on, or I just got my money and I can move on. But that's not the situation. I'm out here just for the poor grammatical errors and lack of proper punctuation, but I digress. Thank you. Yeah, it's hard to read some of this. I'm serious. And again, he responds, says, see ya. I don't know why, but like, you don't have to respond to every single thing people say. A little bit of time goes by here. A little bit of time posting some other stuff, back on topic with the forum, showing the subframe they've made, which, hey, looks really cool. Like, full credit to them, actually. Looks really cool. They're test fitting it and all. So again, they're moving on, doing their developments. And then there's something big that comes up. So these are the parts I've been waiting for the last 2.5 years. One, comes in here running their mouths. Doesn't mean that I have done anything to anyone in this group. So he says in this one, basically, a lot of parts, they had to go to court and won. And then at the end, he also says that he is using voice text, which again is why it's so hard to read some of this. Now this is a good one. Somebody responds and they say, never buy from someone who is willing to shit on paid customers in public and private. Has enough bandwidth to shitpost multi-paragraph dissertations, but not ship parts. Also, anytime someone barks about aerospace experience nowadays, I just think of billionaire sub-implosion guy. Nobody cares what you do for work. Wow. So like, I mean, look, straight to the point. I think he's kind of right. Like, they were just a lot of rambling going on, and now I'm finally going to get into the part which I think you guys have been waiting for, which is, what did they have to say to me? And trust me, it is not going to be what you expected. You keep wanting to flame us and blame us for all the issues that have come up from you, giving us half-ass measurements for your axles and also the chain supply issue. Stop right there. That's so uncalled for. What is he talking about? Half-ass measurements. If he ever had a problem with the measurements at any point, I would have given more measurements. There's no mention of measurement issues at any other point, so I have no idea what he's bringing up here. But the fact of the matter is, we've kept you 100% up to date with what we are doing. But do you have the facts that you are not running your mouth unjustified with no actual fact behind your empty words? I don't even know what he's saying here. I have no idea what this means, but the video I posted, it was essentially just a review. If you look at it, like, it's objectively a review of the company and my experience. So I don't know what he means by these, whatever that is. Here are my efforts to get your axles. Your order is now canceled. We will push a refund minus the 20% refund. I don't know what that means, but all right, so we got, I'm guessing an 80% refund is what he's offering, which he would have never offered to me if I never made that video, which I thought was, funny. Orders canceled, and here is some really, really fun screenshots. I'm not going to show these screenshots just because it's a lot of the same thing. It's a little more of his privacy. It's just not really necessary. Like, to sum it up, it's his conversation with who supposedly is the manufacturer that causes all these problems, known as Rocky. And you know what is crazy? Essentially, these screenshots are just Steven going at him. I mean, at him, like every day bombarding. And I find that so funny because they're saying I'm a nuisance and that I am the one that's constantly being annoying to them. Holy crap. The way Steven talks to this guy is unbelievable. Like, he's threatening him. He's talking about he needs his parts. And like, like, oh my God. So I get 9 screenshots here of just Steven, like, saying a bunch of mean, not nice things about this guy. Keeps going, not our fault. Now you're gonna notice there's a huge gap in between responses. So he emails me on October 5th. I don't respond until November 8th. And I wanna explain what was going on at that moment. Was I had already filed a claim at the bank, a fraudulent claim. I went there, they wrote a letter, and I knew that Steven wasn't gonna give me a refund, and there was really no hope. So I was hoping that the bank could get my money back for me. So I was waiting to hear back from them. I got a temporary credit in my account for the full amount. A few weeks go by, they take the money back out of the account. And they sent me a letter in the mail saying that there was no error determined and I needed to talk with the manufacturer. So I immediately called them and I said, I already tried talking to the manufacturer. That's the whole reason I'm going through this. What's going on? So they resubmit the claim. A few more weeks go by. I get a call again, and they said, here's the problem. To file a fraudulent claim, it has to be within 4 months. And I am now at like 9 or 10 months, something ridiculous. It's been forever. And it's been too long, they can't do anything, which is a really stupid policy, in my opinion. But the bank basically said, you're screwed. So they gave me that temporary credit a second time, took it back a second time, and now I'm forced to go back to trying to negotiate with Steven. So it's like a ping pong ball, but instead of a ball, it's $2,000. I had absolutely been dreading having to go back to talking to Steven just because I knew how difficult it would be. But I had no other choice. So here I am, November 8th. I'm sorry for the late response. To say that I gave half-assed measurements is completely uncalled for. I would have been more than willing to provide you with more measurements at your request. I am not running my mouth, but simply sharing my honest experience. I see that you're having issues with the manufacturer, and I truly hope that you can sort that out. All I want is my money back, and we can both move on. After the countless losses I have incurred as a result of this transaction, I feel that I am entitled to at least the full amount. It actually did not take long at all to get a response from him. And I'm telling you guys, you can't make this up. It is the last thing I ever expected. You know, I'm hoping like, all right, he gave me that offer for the refund. He said the order is canceled. I feel like, again, I should get the full amount at least, but you will get your parts and be on your way. That is all. And correction, we had a manufacturing issue. As we have shown on our social media, we recovered all of those parts and are finishing orders now. And dude, say whatever you want. This isn't Amazon. What? Are you kidding me? He said the order is canceled. I've already placed an order with Drive Shaft Shop. What? He said the order is canceled. What is he talking about? Parts are coming. I'm just beyond confused by this response. So I said, I thought the order was already canceled. I have been blocked from your social. Oh yeah, I want to mention that too. After I made that video, you know, the mature response, AKD blocked me on all social media, my YouTube account, and also my private account, which I didn't even follow them on my private account. So I guess they just searched everybody with the name Gavin Danitz and blocked them. So real professional, you know, they blocked me on all social media. So I haven't been able to see any updates. And I also want to say, it's not like I was commenting all sorts of bad things. I wasn't messaging them at all on Instagram. They had no reason to block me. It's completely uncalled for. But either way, I've been blocked from your social media, so I'm unaware of what's going on. I'm already working with another company. This was what we were waiting for, and it happened. Like we said it would. No one was lying to you or trying to keep your money. We fought to get our parts and your parts, and we succeeded. And he sends me a bunch of pictures, which apparently these are the pictures he posted on Instagram, and it's like deja vu all over again. It's like months ago trying to deal with him, and it's the same promises all over again. So the order is not canceled. If my parts are in the shipment, when can I expect to receive it? This is where I started to lose it. Bro, you know it's a good response from Steven when he starts with bro. We just got these parts from the original manufacturer that was supposed to have been made them and shipped them to you. They are with the new manufacturer being completed. We expected within the next few weeks to be able to get word on all these parts and shift them immediately. So again, you need to relax. I swear when he said that, I was about to take the computer and just smash. I could not. I need to relax. After all of this, after everything I've been through, you need to relax. Oh my God, like I was just so mad reading all this. I can't even explain it. You need to relax and let me do what I need to do. I cannot sit on this phone and reply to emails all day. I'm trying to get you your parts. I need you to remain patient. I'm just furious because my parts shouldn't exist. He's talking about an order that doesn't exist because he said it was canceled. It's so, You said in a previous email, your order is canceled. I've already placed an order with a new company because I thought this was over. Again, here we go arguing on this email. Parts have been made, money spent, and I will deliver like I said. I mean, I'm just being robbed, like literally robbed right in front of me. You said the order is canceled and now there are parts coming still and my money is still being held hostage. I just so lost at this point. So I have axles apparently still coming from AKD. Not that I have no hopes that they're actually going to come because of their past history. But apparently I also have axles coming from Drive Shaft Shop. So, you know, I'm out $4,000 and waiting on 2 sets of axles, which I guess hypothetically, if they both came, I'll just sell one of them. I don't know. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think that's everything I had to say about AKD. But I want to move on now, and I'm going to talk about Drive Shaft Shop. Drive Shaft Shop is the new company that is working on my axles. They're much more established. Tony, who did the swap before me, his axles are made by Drive Shaft Shop. I know they can get it done, right? They're a much more reputable company, and I should have went with them from the beginning. Let me tell you, though, about... Jumping ahead a little bit, we discussed, gave them the measurements, whatever. I placed my order. He gave me a quote. I called. I paid for the quote. Order set. I placed this order on a Friday, and come around early next week, I noticed that I didn't get charged, and I also didn't have any order confirmation on email, which I thought was a little weird. And the last thing I wanted was to, you know, they said the order went through, but it didn't actually. There was some sort of error. And like, I'm waiting for these axles, but the order didn't actually go through. So I called them, just say, hey, you know, did the order go through? I didn't get charged yet. Just want to make sure. And they said, yeah, they got it. So I'm like, okay, great. So I let that go. And I also want to mention that they told me 2 to 3 weeks, okay? There's a little bit of a catch to that. I placed this order on October 6th. Now is October 23rd, so a little bit of time has gone by. So I decided to check in, just say, hey, just wondering if you have an ETA for the order, right? Because I'm expecting, 2 to 3 weeks, should be soon. And he said, good afternoon. Current lead time is about 2 to 3 weeks out at the moment. I'm a little confused here because it was 2 to 3 weeks originally. So is he saying, 2 to 3 more additional weeks? I said, in 2 to 3 more weeks. Roughly, yes. Little odd. But I said again, I just want to be sure. Sorry for all the questions. Did the order definitely go through? I didn't get any confirmation email or charges yet. So like still up to this day on October 25th when I emailed them, I hadn't gotten charged or anything like that. So and he said 2 to 3 weeks, which is what they originally said. So I'm really just hoping that there's no sort of mix up here. Tad says, good morning. Yes, the order is still in process. We don't charge until production has started, but being these are custom components that need to be made, nothing payment-wise has been processed. Essentially what this meant was that, yes, they got my order, but I haven't been charged yet, and the whole 2 to 3 week quote means 2 to 3 weeks from when production starts. As of today, on November 21st, I'm recording this video, I still haven't gotten charged. So from the day I get charged, from what I'm understanding, it's 2 to 3 weeks roughly from that day. So I haven't been charged yet, and it's not looking like it's happening anytime soon, apparently. That makes sense, thank you. November 7th, so a few more weeks go by. Do you have an idea when production will start? And a few days go by and I didn't get a response. So I said, it's been over a month. Is the order still processing? Tad says, good morning. Yes, the inners are still in queue for machining. I'll let you know when we have more updates. And that's the last I talked to them. Again, that was November 10th. The current date is November 21st, and I'm still waiting. So unfortunately, there is, again, like I said in the beginning, no good news here. I don't know what the hell is going on with AKD, but Drive Shaft Shop seems to be behind too. It's a little bit longer than I expected. So that brings us to today. What is the current status, right? Well, a lot of waiting, and I know I haven't been uploading that much recently, and I apologize. I've just been so busy and so overwhelmed, and I've had nonstop problems related to not having this done, issues with transportation, and issues with school. I've got my school going on. If I just want to be real with you guys for a second, I'm not banking on YouTube whatsoever. I enjoy this, and it sounds comedical, but to say that for YouTube to be a career, right? I think it's a dream. It's a dream. Who wouldn't love to work on cars for a living and enjoy that? But I'm really not that confident. To be quite frank, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this for. I think about it every day, quitting YouTube. I really do. But I have been doing this for long enough. I have a lot of people following me just to see this build completed. So I at least feel like I have an obligation to finish the swap. And give you guys some sort of closure, but I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this. I have so much going on with school. I'm planning on going into the financial field, but in addition, I have work. I have to fund this build somehow. I'm paying for all this. I'm doing all the work myself. It's so overwhelming. It is the whole project. Forget it. Like, I don't even have time to go to the gym anymore. It's like I have so much going on, and YouTube isn't necessarily at the top of my priority list. I would love to just say, like, drop everything. If I didn't have to worry about anything else and I just had all the time in the world, I could just post every day, make YouTube videos. I would love to double down and see how it turns out, but I'm doing the best I can right now. And that's really all I could say. I don't know how long this video is, but it's probably going to end up being long when I start editing it, and I apologize. And if you did stay this long, thank you. I really like this kind of format where I can just kind of sit down and have what I feel is similar to a face-to-face conversation. So thank you if you did listen to me. Again, I wish I could have better news, but this is it. So I'll keep doing what I can and uploading when I can. And if there's anything big that happens, I'll let you know. If you want those more frequent updates, check out my Instagram. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.